Welcome back to some more Final Fantasy. Let's get started. Deftly handed, Monogate. Once again I am reminded of our guildmaster. Thanks to your efficient response, we will be able to commence this inspection earlier than I had calculated. We shall board a merchant's vessel out in the bay. Dear Stota, if you would take the rudder, the Morning Star awaits. Since their welcoming party at the pier failed to deter us, I expect, with a probability of 85%, that our arrival will incite further belligerence. Our objective, however, is not to trade blows but to gain access to the hold. It may behoove us to employ stratagem Hardhead. The aim of our opponents is to buy time so that suspected goods may be tossed into the ocean. I do not intend to give them that time. We shall bull our way towards the cargo hold as quickly as we can. It is a tactic fraught with risk, but one that your presence makes possible. Shall we begin? I am Forshila Kilia. By authority of Melvan's Gate, I request that you surrender your goods for assessment. Well now, your timing couldn't be worse, lass. The old door is all rusted up, you see. Bloody thing won't open. You'll have to come back another day after we fix the hinges. I will see that cargo now. Any vessel entering a port of Limsa Lominsa is bound by law to submit to a routine inspection. The law, is it? Lads, I reckon it's time our guests had themselves a little accident. Pitch 'em over the side. Command stratagem Hardhead. Monogate. It's Topaz Carbuncle's time to shine. No, it isn't. Sorry if my voice sounds stranger than usual, by the way. I'm still a bit under the weather. But my double XP bonus will only last a few more days, so I really wanted to get continue the series. Do as many as I can. How many sailors are there on this ship? I have this front in hand. Our healer must be protected first and foremost. That's a good thing to teach new players. I recall this fight being quite hard. I used to fail 1 or 2 times, actually. Maybe its difficulty was changed when the summoner got reworked. We're more powerful now. A masterful display, Monocate. Now we can finally gain access to their cargo. Oof! What have we here then? 'Tis one of the bitch admiral's lapdogs scampering about me ship. You're just like your mistress, always sticking your nose where it ain't invited. No, it can't be. Ha! Recognized me pretty face, did ya? But you were caught. Exiled. Forseer, are you hurt? Can you stand? Stay back. You stay away from me. Forseer, please, calm down. What are your orders? I've had enough of your whimpering, and I've certainly had enough of these bloody books. 'Tis clear you ain't learning anything from 'em. Reckon it's time you got a different kind of lesson. I'm a professional voice actor. Kilia, Novika, preserve us. He's fainted. We must withdraw. Monocate, quickly. Back to the boat. We'll carry the Forseer. Aye, that's right. You slink back to your mistress, you worthless curse. Gah ha 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 ha. My current voice might actually sound quite fitting for that guy. We'll take care of Clea. You best return to the Arcanist Guild and report to Mr. Supergrime. "'Tis good to see you well, Monocate. Gracefriend sent word ahead of your travails. An unfortunate turn of events, but considering the infamous Blackheart you faced, you might have fared much worse. Have you heard of the pirate Dasmaga? He was exiled from Limsa Lominsa some years ago, but it appears he has chosen to defy the Admiral's orders. And once more he dares lay a hand on Forseer Kilia. The poor lass must have been terrified. If I had known Dasmaga was aboard that ship, I never would have assigned her that duty. The assessor may require some time to recover. For Kilia, that man is a nightmare made flesh. Though her physical wounds will soon mend, there is little we can do to solve the hurt to her mind. Are you concerned? Angry, mayhap? Harness that energy and channel it into your training. I predict we shall be needing your skills again before long." That was a lot more interesting than splitting boulders, wasn't it? We are going to do some leaves, of course, because that's where this playthrough is all about. Our best tanner just absconded with a cartload of sheepskin and dodo pelts, and worst of all, most of the tools. Should have known not to trust the Dersula. Beat whiffs or footpads, all of them. Anyway, leather doesn't cut itself. We need replacement head and knives, and make sure they're good ones. We've been trying out different tools to double as arms, so we can protect ourselves from kobolds. Well, it hasn't been perfect. What I mean to say is, the farmhands now need a little protecting from each other. We're going to need shields, and we're ready to pay. It's always sunny in Vildebrand. Ah, just a footloose sort of person I wanted to see. You're familiar with lowland grapes from these parts, are you not? Dusky, dusty, and strong enough to drop a dog. Someone must make raisins while the sun shines, and you seem the likely sort, my dear adventurer. I'm not sure if that quest text had any reference to the show, because I never watched it. But nice reference, anyway. Final Fantasy XIV does that a lot, but compared in contrasted to other MMOs like World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2, their references are mostly in the quest text, where they do not really bother me because it isn't canon. But the characters usually take themselves serious. In WoW there was a whole Rambo questline where you got a massive tank, and while it was cool, all I could think about was, why don't you drive it to Orgrimmar? Now, Guild Wars 2 has a lot of quippy, Marvel-like dialogue, which is hit or miss for me. Usually it's a hit, it's not like Dragon Age the Veilguard. But yeah, sometimes it's a bit too much. It takes the seriousness out of the situation. Lord of the Rings Online, on the other hand, takes itself very serious, which sometimes makes it a bit dry. But the contrary is that the jokes they do make usually land, not because they are that funny, but because I don't expect it. So when I read a joke, I almost laugh, while the same joke in Guild Wars or Warcraft wouldn't make me laugh. Pork is a salty food. It is cruel irony indeed that sea-water gives the sailor neither fresh water for his cup nor plentiful salt for his pork barrel. The casks of water are already in the holds. The consortium is expecting a large delivery of steak lean and requires ample salt so that the ships may be provisioned. But yeah, Final Fantasy XIV, in my opinion, strikes a perfect balance with putting the silliness in the quest names and the quest texts. That's why the meme references belong, in my opinion. Not that it's impossible to make a humor-based game, of course. Wildstar was pretty funny, and oh wait. You've got mail. Armorers nimble of finger and simple in tastes are asked to present themselves to the offices of the Brugair Consortium, where they will hear opportunities to their advantage regarding the supplying of halberdions to be sold in Gridania. Now you may ask if it's so important to make optimal use of the double experience buff. So important that you're even playing while your voice hurts, while your throat hurts. Why are you wasting that buff with I say, yeah, good point, good point. This will be the last leaf, promise, a combat leaf. That should be slightly more interesting. Oh, who am I kidding? Bug looks like a lady. Ladybugs may be classified as vilekin, but they are anything but vile. In fact, they feed on the very vermin who infest our crops here at the Red Rooster Stead, making them more than welcome in our fields. That is, the ones who aren't carrying the terrible leaf bleed blight. Rumor states several infected ladybugs hitched a ride on a merchant's vessel carrying fruit from Gridania. Now, not only are they spreading the sickness to the crops, but to healthy Lanosian ladybugs as well. The Stead is looking for adventurers to seek out the carriers of the blight and eliminate them. Try not to harm any of the unaffected ladybugs in the process. Ho there, Monocade. I must say you're looking comfortable enough with those stabbers of yours. I reckon you're good and ready for your first assignment. Ordinarily, I'd stow me wits and let you get on with your work, but seeing as we've only dragged you into the shadows, there might be a couple of things what you ain't familiar with yet. Let's build to what you likely do know, and that's the fact that the Admiral, God bless her soul, has outlawed piracy in Limsa Lominsa. So, why do you think there's still so many southern pirates in this town? I'll tell you why. It's cause there's still one way for them to loot and pillage without incurring the wrath of the law. All you need to do is apply to serve the thalassocracy as a certified privateer. A captain with a privateer's license is free to terrorize the seas till the altgoats come home, so long as he only targets vessels which belong to the Garlean Empire. Of course, considering how bloody fast the Empire is, that's plenty of looting to go around. Crews fill their holds with Imperial plunder, then sail back here to Limsa to offload the spoils. And that's where this particular case went sour. See? This one crew cut their fumbles on a Magitech device, a firing mechanism to be precise, but was rooked out of their hull by some heavy-handed coves. If you recall, that don't sit well with the code. If you're bold enough to rook a pirate out of his due, then you'd best be prepared for a visit from the rogues. Ah, and speaking of visiting rogues, Underfoot, over here, lad. I want a pair of you working together on this. Pass sentence on them code-defying rooks and bite back that Magitech part. Hey, what's the last need me for? You're in charge of the new recruits, ain't ya? This Monocade's first assignment. You're to go along and give her the benefit of your wisdom. Since when was I in charge of new... Ah, bugger it. So I guess we're to be partners for the now. The name's Perimu Harimu, but most of me fellows call me Underfoot. He might seem a touch reluctant, but Perimu is one of our best. You just do as he says, and you'll get the job done. Alright then, be young rogue. Seeing as this is your first official outing, I want to be sure your dance steps are up to the task. With them short blades, You need to get in good and close to your mark, aye? But we ain't bleeding swats in shining armor, and the lighter kit we wear ain't much protection from a click to the gun. So, if you don't fancy spit and blood and teeth, your best defense is simply not being there when the mark winds up to land a nasty cloud. Sliding round to a flank usually does the trick, but there's some rum fun every rogue should master, the shade shift. Clear your mind and trust in your speed, and you can leave an axe-wielding brute or spell-slinging mage chasing your shadow while you bury your stabbers in his guts. Right, now's the time to put this lesson into practice against some of those Aureliae out in Lower La Noscea. I hope you was paying attention, lass, cause those tentacles can pack a wallop. Enjoy! Head out into Lower La Noscea and pick a fight with one of them Aureliae. Remember, the point of this exercise is to practice your evasion, so don't come back to me with welts all over your face. Careful not to hit the level 50 hunt. Done with your practice then? Hehe. The sting of them tentacled buggers will soon teach you to stay on your toes, yeah? Ahem. Now that we've got your blood rushing, I'd say it's time to get down to work. First things first, we need to track down them adult coves what rooked that Magitech gadget. Might be as one of our rogues heard something. The guild thrives on information, you see. And we've agents scattered far and wide with their glazes keen and their wattles to the ground. Let's pay us a visit to Hilton Van at the Drowning Wench. Ask her for a weak ale and see what she gets you. And see what it gets you. I'm not setting you up for a laugh, lass. Trust me.